Last time on Square Roots, we clomp through the Cloakwood, wrangle with some rangers, and go camping with a crew of criminals. Later, we flood some tunnels, if you know what I mean, with the help of some dwarves, if you know what I mean. Multiple bodies float through the murky aftermath, if you know what I mean. It's a massacre, if you know what I mean.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Square Roots, the classic RPG podcast. My name is Jim Banks. I'm joined by Matthew Van Zant.
Hey yo, it's me, Matthew Van Zant.
John Iron Throne Brandon.
Just like a white widow, sings a song, sounds like she's singing.
And Vanessa.
I serve the Flaming Fist.
And this is a podcast where we play and talk about your favorite classic RPGs, one chunk at a time. And we are on episode 3 of our Baldur's Gate series. Hooray.
Yay!
Feels like this game's going a lot faster than I expected it to.
Yeah.
I did have to play like 15 hours this weekend,
Ooh.
so I don't know.
Are you not caught up again?
No, I'm caught up. That was me catching up and doing all the side quests I missed so that I could be an appropriate level for how far we are at normal.
What level are you?
7.
Okay. I guess the level cap is like 12 or something? I thought it would be 10.
Oh. It goes up to 30 in the later one.
But
ones if you keep playing your character.
Yeah, you keep playing your character, so I thought it would be like 10 per game. I don't understand how any of this works. I'm at the end of this game. Like, I had to stop because I realized I was about to walk into the end game.
Oh.
And then I had to turn around and do Durlag's tower. And it took for fucking ever. Don't do it.
It does take forever.
Is
Do
it
do
fun?
it.
No.
Vanessa said
Yes.
It does have some puzzles. We're going to talk about it for sure. It's got some puzzles and some riddles and some lots and
Vanessa
lots
loves a riddle.
of
I
kill
do
you
love a
and
riddle.
one-shot monsters. Lots of those. Lots of one-shotters.
I don't love those.
No, we don't like a one-shotter.
This week while I was playing, I had a thing happen to me multiple times where I would be trying to travel between one location and another, and I would be ambushed, but I would be ambushed by a basilisk that would one-shot my main character and end my game.
See, Vanessa, I actually kind of prefer a one-shotter. Then, like, the monster and I can just, like, cuddle and watch TV instead of trying to expect the monster to want to fight again. It's like, we already fought once. This is kind of it for me for the weekend. So let's play some games or,
Wow.
you know.
Yeah, to be honest, it's not as important to me how many shots the monster takes. I just need them to be able to kind of like hold off on taking that shot until I'm ready for them to take it.
What are you guys talking about?
Fighting monsters.
Monsters? Yeah.
So,
Did Jim say what we do on this show?
no, he did. He never does.
I did.
He always pretends like he did, but he never does. I always have to edit it in later and be like, take one out of the last episode and like plug it into the next one.
You would never do that.
No, you're right. I am way too lazy to do something like that. You don't know how lucky you are that I cut John squarely against into the end of the episode a few weeks ago instead of just fucking off to Dreamland and ignoring it. Yeah, Johnny can level up in the middle of the episode. Who cares?
Speaking of level up, you guys want to level up?
Yeah.
Not really.
You don't want to? Matt, why don't you go first?
Fuck yeah. I'd love to level up. I watched a hot new movie that you guys have never even heard of. Did you know that Netflix remade The Thing?
I LOL'd when you said that. You're like, oh no, Netflix remade The Thing. And I was like, I don't think so.
Yeah, I didn't look at the date. It was actually 2013, I think.
I think it was 2011.
The idiotically named prequel to The Thing, The Thing.
It's weird they like de-aged all these actors by like 10 years.
They should have called it The First Thing.
Or just put a 1 in place of the I, you know?
Oh, yeah, there we go.
The one thing. Anyway, I watched that 2011 The Thing, and it was fucking terrible. It was atrocious. It was god-awful. It was an embarrassment to movies. It was a slap in the face to Kurt Russell. It was a slap in the face to John Carpenter. It was a slap in the face to your mom.
Hello, I'm
John's mum. Ow!
Jim convinced me to watch it by telling me something that I heard a lot of back when that movie came out, which was like, it's actually pretty good. And so I
did
was
not say
like,
it was pretty good. I said it's not that bad.
Let's check the tape. Oh, Jim said it was the best movie he's ever seen. Wow. A liar and a felon. That's what you are.
I don't think that's Jim because he didn't say the thing slapped his bare butt back and balls.
So I decided to give it a shot, and, well, you've already heard what I have to say about it. It was bad. It was bad. Terrible CGI version of The Thing, rehashing the same plot as The Thing, but much worse, with much worse actors, much blander actors, and, you know how when, like, there's, like, a sequel or a prequel, and, like, there's established stuff from, like, the first movie, and then they do that sequel or prequel, and they're like, also, all this stuff that people had to figure out in that first movie, now they're gonna figure it out the minute something happens. Like, there was a lot of that.
Yeah.
It was
You know, a funny thing about that movie is that when they shot it, they actually did almost all the monster CGI as practical effects, and then the studio was like, we don't like this. This is stupid. And then they did it all in
really?
in CGI, and it looks like shit.
It does.
But like in the behind the scenes, the practical effects look pretty fucking dope, actually.
That's sad to know. It does that thing where like it's because it's a follow up to a popular movie. It doesn't bother trying to hide anything, and by doing that, I appreciate the fact that people already have expectations, but you have to people already know what it is going in. But you have to, make it something interesting. And instead, they're just like, nope, here's the alien. And it removes all tension and atmosphere from the movie, leaving you just scenes of boring actors boringly expositing. That's all it is.
And the inside of that spaceship looked fucking stupid.
I'm going to be honest with you. I fell asleep before it ended, and I'm not going to go back and try to finish it because it's not fucking worth it. Nope, they were going to the ship, and I was like, I'm just going to roll over and go to sleep. I don't give a shit about this. Anyway, I also wanted to briefly talk about a game I've been playing with my cool son. We started playing Dragon Ball Kakarot.
Oh, in the notes here, you put your level up as DB Carrot. I thought this was going to be like an author or like an artist or something that you were going to talk about.
Nope. Talking about Dragon Ball Kakarot. It is a game. It's a video game. It's on the PlayStation. It is currently on the PlayStation Plus subscription, which is great because I did not want to pay money for this. It is basically like a modern version of the show, but you get to play as the characters, and there's a lot of little open world areas where you get to fly around and find stuff and do side quests. It's dumb. It's really dumb, but I'll tell you what, it's pretty fun to play. Flying around in the air and zapping things with laser beams, pretty entertaining. So if you have a kid that likes Dragon Ball, like my kid likes Dragon Ball, maybe you should check that out. And if you're an adult that likes Dragon Ball, probably don't waste your time. You know what I mean? It's not worth the money. Free? Sure. Money? No. Vanessa!
Yes, hello.
How did you level up?
Well, I did something pretty wild this weekend. I read a book.
What? But you don't know how to read.
I know. First, I had to get hooked on phonics. Thanks for sponsoring the show, Hooked on Phonics. And then I learned to read, and then I read one book. This book is called The Power by Naomi Alderman. Nope, just The Power.
The Power of Christ?
No, just The Power.
The Power of Reading.
Back to my super cool book report. So This book is a book that I picked up in 2017, I think, and never did get around to reading. And then this weekend, I suddenly felt compelled to read it. I have since realized that it's probably because also quite recently this weekend, Amazon premiered a show based on the book. I must have seen an ad for it or something, and it woke something up in the back of my little mind and told me to read this book. A little spark. A little spark. Speaking of little sparks, this book is about girls and women all over the world developing electroshock powers.
Ooh.
The power of electroshock powers.
Yes, it's the power of electroshock powers.
The power.
That's the noise they all make.
Power. I got the power.
It is about how this change in women's ability impacts global politics and gender dynamics and power structures, most importantly. I liked it a lot. It's very good. It follows 4 or 5 different characters in pretty short little chapters. It's only about 400 pages, so it's a quick read. I read it in a weekend. You can too. It's called The Power, and I do suggest that you check it out. I haven't watched the Amazon show, so I can't comment on how faithful of an adaptation that is, but The Power, it's good.
Does
Good
it
book.
only deal in a binary gender?
No.
That's good.
Yeah. So I did that. I also started a show starring Johnny's darling, Poker Face.
Yay!
Poker Face isn't the name of his darling. The name of his darling is Natasha Lyonne.
She's great.
I've only watched a couple episodes, but I like it a lot. It's something I had been looking forward to watching, but hadn't had a chance to until my leisurely weekend of book reading and television watching.
Vanessa's leisurely weekend.
Wow! Also, as part of my leisurely weekend, I went to a dog festival.
Vanessa's leisurely weekend.
Wow! I don't have a dog, but I borrowed one. I borrowed a dog so I could go to the dog festival and not seem like a creep. So I went to the dog festival. It wasn't that great, but there certainly were a lot of dog-based vendors, and the dog got a whole bunch of snacks. And they did have a station where you could decorate your own dog treat. So I did that. I made beautiful art, and then the dog ate it. I guess that was part of my leisure because petting dogs and stuff like that is supposed to be good for your blood pressure. Finally, I've talked on this show about some interpersonal problems I was having. And after a quick little update of Disney Dreamlight Valley, I am happy to say that Minnie Mouse has apologized for her crimes.
Did they listen to the show?
They listened to someone, and perhaps I'm not the only one who felt that her demands were unreasonable, because she did say to me in the game, did I ask you to get too much clay to build the clock tower? I had the option to respond with, it was so much clay, which I did. And then she looked very sheepish. She said that she was sorry. She gave me 50 clay and 500 coins for my trouble. She did then, as I was walking away from the conversation, say, remember, I love you, which I find condescending. But I think that we're on the path to forgiveness here, because she at least has had some time to think about what she did. I guess putting the clock tower by her house worked, and I'm really happy with the result. Excellent game. Like, really amazing content that you can unlock just by rearranging the layout of your village. Jim.
Vanessa's leisurely weekend.
How did you level up?
Hey, I also read a book.
No way. That's
yeah.
my thing.
Nope, I read one. I read a whole one. It was called The Strange by Nathan Ballingrud.
Sounds hot.
It is. It is
A little bit of strange.
It's like a sci-fi, steampunk, cosmic horror, western revenge novel.
One of those.
Set on Mars in the year 1935. It's like an alternate history where we were able to colonize Mars in like the early 1900s, and takes place on Mars in a little settlement. And man, is it a good book. Best book I've read in a long time. I've read a lot of Nathan Ballingrud's other stuff, but it's always been short stories. A movie was made about one of his stories called Wounds that stars Armie Hammer. I think it's on Hulu. It's also got Dakota Johnson in it, I think. That's pretty good. But yeah, man, the book is really good. I read it in 2 sittings. I liked it a lot. I would suggest checking it out if you're into any of those genres I mentioned. It kind of is all of the things simultaneously in a very good way. And I'm also doing a rewatch of the first season of Yellow Jackets. Season 2 is airing right now. Haven't seen any of it yet. I want to get through season 1 again first. Man, that show is good. It's such a cool little mystery show. Like, a lot of the marketing for the first season was like, oh, it's about, teen girls who get stranded in a plane crash, and it kind of alternates between the girls trying to survive in the wilderness and some of the girls as adults, some of the girls as women adults. And it does that, but it's also got a lot of like mysteries and cool symbolism and stuff that's peppered throughout it that like it's got like a kind of a lore to it, which is really cool. I would suggest checking it out if you're a fan of that kind of thing, or if you like Melanie Linsky like I do. She's the best.
Everyone likes Melanie Linsky.
Yeah, she's so good in it too. She's like the main character. All right, that's what I did for leveling up. Johnny, how did you level up?
I didn't do a whole lot. I did, since it was on sale, pick up a game called Skyrim for the Nintendo Switch.
Whoa. I've heard of that game.
That game's pretty fun.
Have you ever played it before?
I have, even on the show.
Wow.
Yeah, but it was neat. I made a cat lady, and I called her Mittens. And so I was having a little fun with that. The game seems a little unstable compared to the PC version, even with my mods and everything. Like, during the opening, where, like, everyone's lining up to get beheaded before the dragon attacks. Like, some of the soldiers were like, the horse came in and was, like, bumping around soldiers. It was really great. I love it when those games are super janky. I also got a game called Octopath Traveler 2. It is by the people that made Octopath Traveler 1, Bravely Default, and Live Alive's remake. So it looks a lot like the Live Alive game. This one, you can tell they definitely took a lot of it. I mean, they always had inspiration from Live Alive, but this one seems way more Live Alive-y. It's really cool, fun storytelling, and the graphics are really nice for that art style. Like, they definitely took some of the inspiration from Live Alive, doing a bit more with the kind of dioramas. And yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. The new stories are pretty neat, ranging from comedy to anime adventure to like pretty dark. And the combat's really good, as always. Octopath Traveler 2. So far, it's good. And
is it a true sequel in that you need to have played the first one to understand what's happening?
Not at all. As far as I know, it's not connected, or at least there's been no connections between the characters so far. But maybe if I'd finished the first one, I would recognize little nods or something. But it seems like their own it's new characters and new vignettes and stories and stuff. So, yeah, I'm enjoying it. I was also playing around with my stereo again, or the surround sound things, sort of seeing what games sounded neat and what games don't sound neat. I went and I messed around with the Outer Worlds. I finally got the Spacer's Choice upgrade working on Xbox, and because I bought it on PC and it just would not install. It just wouldn't install at all. I also bought the DLC on PC and that wouldn't install either. So I gotta like make a ticket with Microsoft to see what the hell's going on. But I got it. I got it on Xbox instead, and that's working a lot better. That game's fun. I thought there was a way in that first geothermal power plant to like be the bestest boy and get power to both, the biothermal lab and the factory, but you can't. You have to choose one or the other.
There's a way to sort of resolve the situation more peacefully than not, but you do have to choose.
Yeah, I think I need to go back and talk to her. Be like, hey, so are you going to be cool or what? Talk to the lady that runs the other one. I did find out about the bodies, which I think you found out when we did our review. How they're dealing with the bodies and why they're able to grow food and not be sick at the other facility.
Yes, I remember us discussing how I didn't have a problem with it.
Yeah, I'm fine with it too. They're dead.
Yeah, circle of life.
Yep, exactly. But that does not sound great. Its surround sound implementation's not good.
That's
However,
surprising.
Borderlands 3 has incredible sound design. Like,
ooh,
it's super immersive and just sounds really, really good. So definitely recommend that. Final Fantasy, actually, Octopath Traveler on the Xbox, which I played until the Game Pass took it away, sounds great. But the Final Fantasy 15 on surround sound, really fantastic audio design too. But it's weird that a bunch of games just kind of sound blah, but Borderlands 3 sounds so good. Like they put so much work into just how immersive the soundscape is, and definitely really cool. I'll have to try the other Borderlands games and see how they sound too. So that's kind of quiet weekend. I didn't watch any movies. I need to watch some movies this weekend. Anyway, so I guess that's everyone. Hey, Vanessa.
Yes, Johnny.
Are you ready for Vanessa's Answer Smoosh?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Yay!
It's Vanessa's Answer Smoosh Dummies Edition. Because last time you guys said it was too hard.
Yay! This is perfect for Jim and John.
Says the guy that's in third place.
Whoa!
I really endeavored this time to think of things that I am positive you will know. And I think I mostly succeeded.
How much is related to live theater?
I would say no more than 5%. Round one.
Whoa,
all right,
moving fast.
I'm ready.
I should put my phone down.
I guess I should talk about the current standings. Current standings are Johnny with 8 points total, Jim with 4, and Matt with 3.
8. Also, can you give us the rules again? Also, this game is called Smushmouth.
Yes, welcome to Smushmouth. The rules are, I will read 2 clues. The answers of these 2 clues are smushable. And if you use your mouth to smush them, you will come up with the answer to the round. Let's begin. Who will be the all-star? Ding, 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 ding. That's the bell. Clue 1. The auteur game designer behind Heavy Rain and Detroit Become Human. Clue 2. This series of real-time strategy games from publisher Microsoft sees players advance civilizations through 4 eras, and Matt plays it.
Buzz.
Yes, Matt.
David
Johnny had it
Cage
first.
of Empires.
I'm giving it to Matt.
Yeah! I sounded the
Sorry,
same to
Johnny,
me.
I heard Matt.
It sounded like he and I said it at the same time to me. I'm just saying.
Sure it does.
Maybe you just have lag, Jim. Maybe you need to get good.
I have the best
Damn.
internet of all of us. You son of a bitch.
I mean,
You probably do.
My internet craps out once a day, so probably better than mine.
Round 2. Clue 1. This is the first title line of a sketch show which premiered in 2019, much to Vanessa's chagrin. Clue 2. This black mage struggled with questions of existence in Final Fantasy IX. Yes, Jim.
I think you should leave Evie.
Correct. The end of that clue was going to be that Jim has a tattoo of this character on his arm.
I sure do.
Round 3. This SNL alum created Johnny's problematic fave TV show that premiered on Netflix in 2015. Round 2. Peter Molyneux spearheaded this 2004 release that promised to harness the power of
Buzz.
the Xbox.
Buzz.
Yes, Matt.
Tina Fable.
You got it.
Yay!
Amazing.
I keep
Wow.
waiting for Vanessa to finish.
You do.
That's not.
You
And-
don't need to wait.
Yeah.
Round 4. Clue 1. This sequel to a 2001 PlayStation 2 game brought a love interest to the forefront with a splashy musical number and lots of costume changes. Clue 2. The American style of this ballet costume features short
Buzz.
ruffles of tulle. Yes, Jim.
I know
Final
what it is.
Fantasy X Tutu.
Correct.
I'm just being shut out here.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Maybe I made it too easy. Round 5. Clue 1. This fictional place that's become synonymous with an earthly paradise was described by author James Hilton in his novel Lost Horizon and is said to be located in the mountains of Asia. Clue 2. This alien parasite crash-landed to Earth in the year 65 million BC in the classic RPG Chrono Trigger. Who was that, Jim?
Shangri-Lavos.
Correct. It is Shangri-La.
Oh. I was like, Kubla Khan? No.
Thanks, Uncharted, for that one. Uncharted
I
2.
thought the second clue. I thought she was describing Parasite Eve at first.
Because I said parasite. Round 6. This American city spans 2 states, including the state where Jim was born. Clue 2. A 2022 game subtitled Shredder's Revenge featured
Buzz.
these heroes.
Oh,
Yes,
no.
Matt.
Buzz.
Yes, Jim.
Kansas City Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Correct.
Also, I was born in Oklahoma, not Kansas.
Oh.
That's even worse.
Yeah, then I guess the round is null.
No, it
Just
isn't.
kidding. You can have it.
Thank you.
All right, Johnny is being shut out. I got a good feeling about this
Damn it.
round, but we'll see how it goes.
I got confused there when you started saying like the names, and I was like, it was on the tip of my tongue, and then I started going, "Wait, Saint Leonardo? No, that can't be it."
Clue 1. This game, popular with teenagers at sleepovers, was also the subtitle of a 1991 documentary about the American singer Madonna. Clue 2. This actor-comedian is best known as the co-creator and host of Drunk History.
Buzz.
Yes, Jim.
Truth or Derek Waters?
Correct.
No, I didn't get it fast
I
enough.
did. When I buzzed in, all I had was the name Derek, and I was like, "Oh my god!" I have to think of it before I can finish the answer.
That was a quick answer. It came to you. All right, round 8. Clue 1. The members of this Vampire the Masquerade clan are known for their artistic sensibilities. The clan shares its name with professional bullfighters. Clue 2. This show features a monkey named after footwear, a pilfering fox, and a sentient map.
Buzz.
Yes, Matt.
Matador the Explorer.
Nice.
Incorrect.
Whoa! It's not.
Incorrect.
Okay. All right.
Buzz.
Yes, Johnny.
Toreador the Explorer.
Correct.
I was gonna say Matador too.
I couldn't remember the names of the vampire clans.
Me either.
Final round. Clue 1. Robert Downey Jr. and Marissa Tomei co-starred in this 1994 romantic comedy before reuniting in Captain America: Civil War.
Sorry,
Clue
say that
2.
again?
Okay. Clue 1. Robert Downey Jr. and Marissa Tomei co-starred in this 1994 romantic comedy before reuniting in Captain America: Civil War. Clue 2. This Final Fantasy party member is the daughter of High Summoner Braska. They don't know the name of the
Buzz?
rom-com. Was that a buzz?
I buzzed.
I buzzed too.
Who buzzed first? Honor system.
Let John have it.
All right, Johnny.
And then there was Yuna?
Incorrect.
I'm gonna buzz in. I'm not sure I'm right, but I don't
Yes,
think
Jim.
this is the name of a movie. But it had to be Yuna.
Incorrect. Matt, do you want to take a shot?
Can't hardly wait, Una.
Incorrect. The
As
answer
we
was
all know.
I don't know. I don't know.
Only Yuna.
The answer was only Yuna.
As we all know, Can't Hardly Wait starred 30-somethings Robert Downey Jr. and Sandra Bullock.
No, it's Marissa Tomei.
Oh, Marissa Tomei. Oh!
Wow, what a round.
That was Sandra
Was
Bullock.
that all of them?
That's all of them for today.
Wow. What
Where
are the standings now?
at?
Johnny picked up 1 point for a total of 9. Jim picks up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5
Whoa!
points,
That's a tie
which
for
brings
first, right?
his total to 9. And Matt picked up, drumroll please, 1, 2, 2.
Wow.
For 5 points.
Yes, for 5 points.
That means I'm in
Super
second
close.
place, suckers.
Yeah, Matt's in second place. It's still anyone's game. And this has been Answer Smush, Dummies Edition.
Ooh, good times.
Everyone loves Answer Smush.
That was a real Jim comeback round. I'm proud of my
It
performance
was.
in
You
that
did
one.
really great, Jim. I did not expect you to get Truth or Derek Waters.
So, time for the quest log. I wanted to start off this week with a little something I call Matt's Foreshadowing Corner. There's been a lot of foreshadowing in this game, and we haven't really talked about it much. And this is the episode where it all comes to a head, and we learn the real truth about what our main character is. I guess we're not going to discuss what the main character is yet, because that's spoilers for the end of this episode. But I would like to know, did anybody guess?
I did not guess because I couldn't be bothered to read the whole text of the dreams.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not just the dreams that foreshadowed this. In fact, I think the dreams did a pretty bad job, other than, like, there was an evil presence that occasionally talked to you in your dreams, but it didn't, like, tell you anything other than, like, something evil was stalking you. But we've definitely run into a lot of people in this game that have pretty much flat out told us, like, you're bad news. There's something wrong with you.
Yeah, that's true. I thought they were just being like prejudice or something.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I
you're
thought they
playing
just
as a
didn't
woman,
like me because
so-
I was a dwarf.
And he's playing as a dwarf, so that makes sense.
I'm playing as
Oh,
a
by the way,
half-elf woman.
I need to correct myself from last week. I said that I was excited to use a katana, and then I said that I was a fighter/cleric, but I was incorrect. I'm a fighter/thief, so I can use the katana. A lot of listeners were like, "Oh, who's gonna tell Jim he can't actually use that katana?" But he can. I have it equipped right now. It's really good.
Take
wow,
that,
here
listeners.
I thought you were a man of God, and you're just a common thief. I guess I should have seen that coming because it's a story I've heard before.
John, were you able to guess at all what was coming up with the revelation about the main character?
No, this was. I mean, they kept. I thought he was kind of. I was like, well, it seems more supernatural than just like a jerk dad. But I wouldn't have guessed who the dad was.
I mean, how could you unless you had a book of D&D lore in front of you, you know? Like, unless you're writing for the Forgotten Realms wiki. I don't know how you could possibly have guessed this. But yeah, the game did definitely has been setting up throughout this whole game that there's something up with our main character's heritage. And we've had several characters tell us, like, you know, oh, you're, either like you're trouble or like you're going to be trouble in the future. So anyway, we're going to find out all about what that means at the end of this chunker. But first, let me take you on Matt's little side quest corner for just a brief second.
Side quest corner.
I think I ended last week telling you all that at the end of the Cloakwood mine, Dorn left my party.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Dorn is, I believe, a half-orc knight or death watch or whatever, an evil blackguard. That's what it is. Is a half-orc blackguard, and he's cool and like tough, but he's evil. And people told me he was going to leave my party if my reputation got too high, but I ignored them. So I had to reload my save and strip Dorn of all of his shit, including his own personal sword that only works for him, so that I could sell it. But I decided to go pick up another character, and I also wanted to get rid of Imoene, because I don't like Imoene.
It's me, Emmeline.
Yep. I went and picked up, I went and re-grabbed Rashad, the
You're
monk.
a queer fellow.
Mm-hmm.
Homophobic.
Yeah, super homophobic, Imoene. I went and picked Rashad back up, and I had left him in the Cloakwood, and while I was there, I ran into a guy named Corin. Corin is a fighter-thief dual class, like Jim. Mm-hmm. And he can use the Deadshot, which is a composite longbow and is like one of the better bows in the game. Mm-hmm. And I had sold that, but I remembered where I sold it. So I decided to pick up this Corin guy and make him replace Imoene. But he wanted me to complete a quest to hunt down some wyverns.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, I had already done that. And I had left their heads, which he needed to complete his timed or he'll leave quest, with our old pal, Dorn.
Oh, no.
So I went back, I found Dorn at the Friendly Arm Inn, and I thought, cool, well, I'll just get him to rejoin the party, and I'll take his stuff, and then I'll leave him again, because fuck this guy, he's going to leave me again anyway. But no, Dorn refused. Dorn wants nothing to do with me now that I've got a level 20 heroic reputation. Mm-hmm. So I was only left with one option.
Oh, no.
I murdered Dorn.
No, Matt. Oh,
Right in the middle of the inn. Not only did I straight up murder this man, who I had taken all of the equipment off of, so he had nothing. Not only did I murder him in broad daylight in the Friendly Arm Inn, and nobody fucking cared. Nobody.
I guess your reputation was so
at
good
all
that everyone was on your side.
He's evil, so I think that's why.
But that's it. All you had to do was like go commit a theft in view of someone, and your reputation would have knocked down. You could have had him in your party, taken the heads, done something good to bump your rep back up, and bing bang boom, there you are.
You know,
What an
I've noticed as I've gotten
extreme
further into this
solution.
game and my reputation is super high at this point, I have actually kind of gotten shittier to people. I've stopped being nice to everybody and started being a real dickhead who either wants to
Yeah.
get paid or will just jump straight to, well, I think I should kill you.
Wow.
Yep, that's how it is. Matt doesn't think he has to try anymore.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I mean,
And
it seems to be
now
working
the
for me.
real Matt shows himself.
Yeah, that's true. The real Matt shows up. The one who just murders a man for a wyvern skull. It was worth a lot of gold, though, and XP.
Well, I guess I can't really blame you then.
Let's get to it, gang. It's time for Chapter 5. The game tells us that our next destination is going to be one Baldur's Gate.
The
That's right.
titular Baldur's Gate?
The titular Baldur's Gate. If you rest, which obviously you should, because as we all know, after each chapter you have a weird dream sequence and then you get a new power. The fourth dream sequence, we dream of an ocean of blood sweeping the entire country. But our cool resolve is so strong that even though we're drowning in this ocean of blood, we build a boat out of our resolve in the dream. And then we sail the sea of blood on our boat made of resolve until a wave destroys our dream ship, and that wakes us up. Foreshadowing. That's right. Get ready to sail on a sea of blood.
Blood Sea.
So we head to Baldur's Gate, and the first place that you go is Worm's Crossing. It's a bridge into Baldur's Gate. And waiting for us on that bridge is a man named Scar.
Ooh, he
Oh,
sounds
from
like
Lion King.
Yeah, from Lion
yes,
King.
a gay uncle
Jeremy Irons.
from the Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Yeah, he's standing on the
sweet.
thing, and he's like, I killed Mufasa, and also give me that rod.
I'll give him the rod.
Oh.
That would have worked better if I was a man, as a joke.
We got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you know.
He's the head of the Flaming Fist in Baldur's Gate, and he just basically flat out asks us to help him investigate the Iron Throne. I mean, we tell him about ourselves, obviously, and he lets us into Baldur's Gate, and it's a fucking huge quest hub. I think there's like 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10, plus the sewers, different locations in Baldur's Gate. And
I haven't explored all of them yet. I still have a couple that are left purple, but I guess I'll finish up and go walk around more.
Yeah, good luck with that next week, Johnny, considering at the end of this, ooh, you're fucked.
Oh, no.
We'll talk about that when we get there. What, Jim and Vanessa, what did you think of Baldur's Gate? Did you do some side quests? Did you
Why not me?
explore the city? Did you buy anything? Because we can
I did stuff,
blow
too.
right through the main quest here, but the actual main quest for this chapter is super short. I asked Jim and Vanessa.
I did the is it the trading company side quest? The one that Scar asked you to investigate?
There's two of them, the Seven Sons and the Merchant Trading Company.
Oh, I did the Seven Sons because I did the Seven Sons, and it turns out that the reason why they're being so crusty and weird is that they have been infiltrated by shapeshifters.
Doppelgängers.
Yep.
Doppelgängers.
Scar
and I
asks us to
killed.
investigate the Seven Sons, and then right after I investigated the Seven Sons, I walked out, and another man ran up to me and was like, "Oh no, something's weird's happening at the Merchants League. Come and help me with this." And I went there, and twist, it was the exact same thing.
Do you guys have Mr. Monk in your party? The monk guy?
Yeah.
Was that Rasad? Yeah.
Yeah. My monk
I
was
do not.
accosted in Baldur's Gate by
As
some
was
people that
mine.
wanted to kill him.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I did that as well. Did you guys do the cloud Cloud Mountain?
I haven't yet.
It's
I
long.
did.
I did as
missed out on
well.
all these side
And
quests.
I guess we should save that for next time if Jim hasn't played it, because it does have
Yeah.
a pretty good twist.
Should I load my save and do all the side quests before going to Candlekeep then?
You want to redo Candlekeep?
It's not that long.
I thought it was long. So many
I mean,
traps.
you don't have to be a completionist.
You can't be a
Okay.
completionist with this game. You can't be a completionist with this game. You have to replay it to see everything.
Yeah, it's
Right.
meant to be replayed.
Well, I found a hotel or an inn that was full of slimes, and that was amazing. And they're all being attacked by slimes, and like they'd be like, "No!" and everyone was dying. And
I did
that
that,
was
and I don't
great.
think I got a reward for it, which I was
Nope,
kind of mad about.
It's just a little thing that happens.
You can also walk into a warehouse, and there will be a basilisk in there, and a man running away from it. Those greater basilisk.
Later,
I swear to God, I've had one beer. I'm not drunk. I just can't talk. Those greater basilisks are worth 7,000 experience.
Wow.
Of course, that's
and
broken
if
up
you,
among 6 people, so...
yeah, but if you have those protections from petrification, they basically can't attack you. They're just like and nothing happens. You're like, all right, then. You could like send Neela up to just attack it with her dagger.
Yeah, I did manage to get Nira to memorize that spell, but I don't have like 30 copies of it memorized. So my tactic with those things is to just put it on the main character and then have him walk over and kill them himself. It works really well because, as
Well-
John said, they don't actually hit you. They just kind of spit at you.
When I was in Baldur's Gate, I came across a guard who was like, "Hey, all these people have been disappearing from the city. We don't know what the deal is. Would you please investigate who is doing all these crazy murders?" So I said that I would, and I followed a trail of clues into the sewers. And there was a warlock orc down there with a whole bunch of worms, and he's like, "I sure do love taking bodies and killing people."
Not
So I killed him.
to actually you, but I believe that was an ogre mage.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Matt, I think I need to correct you. You need to say, I think that was an ogre mage.
I actually had a guy come up to me and try to lure me into the sewers to be like one of the victims. It's like, my boss wants to meet you. He says that you sound really cool and interesting.
Wow.
Well, there are several things down in the sewers. It took me a long time to find that ogre mage, and I basically cleared out the sewers while I was looking for them. And there's a gang down there. But it's not the ogre mage, it's just a gang. As well as a bunch of other monsters and bullshit. Hey,
There's like
there's
a
also...
guy who's the
Go ahead.
king of the sewers, and he was like, "Hey, I'm the sewer king, and I can see your future, and it's full of blood, a sea of blood." And I'm like, "Cool, thanks, sewer king. Bye." I let him go on his merry way.
I did not. I murdered that man.
I met a fortune teller lady.
He was a ghoul.
And she was like, "Hey,
He was a king.
oh, let me read your palms. I can tell you your future. Your future's great. Nothing bad happens. Don't make any long-term plans. Gotta go."
I found a kid ran up to me in the street and begged me to come to his house because his master needed help. So I did. And I went to the house of a man named Tremaine. And he told me that his son, along with this kid that is like his apprentice or something, I didn't quite get the relationship there, had decided to go play at the Water Queen, which is a temple to some goddess, and by the docks, and that they had been caught and that his son had been murdered by the priests of the Water Queen. And he asked me to go retrieve the body so that he could use a resurrection spell and bring his son back to life. And that's what I did. They made me pay them 2,000 gold for the body, which is what he paid me to retrieve it. So I guess it was kind of a wash, except I got some sweet XP. But he did resurrect his kid and then immediately start yelling at him, and it was pretty funny. And I also talked to a woman who told me that a wizard named Ragefast was keeping a nymph hostage in his home. And so I went and I picked the lock and I went inside, and I thought I was going to have to do some murdering, but instead I was able to talk my way through this, and I talked Ragefast out of keeping this nymph hostage, and he let her go, and she thanked me with a lock of hair.
Oh, nice.
There are a bunch of more recruitable characters here. My party was full, and I did not feel like making any changes at this point. Also, a lot of them I thought were evil or something like, and I was like, well, I don't want to, like, why would I want to deal with the Dorn situation again? So I didn't pick anybody up, but did anybody pick up any new characters here?
I picked up a little elderly dwarf man.
T-Yax, is that his name?
I think so. But he's a fun little character.
Was he the one that
You meet
said
him-
that if he said that you were gonna help him become a god or something?
No, he like I met him walking, and he's like, "Wouldn't it be great to have me travel with you or something like that?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, that sounds
Was that
good."
that little gnome man wearing the fancy hat?
Yes, yeah,
Yeah,
He's
like-
got a big burly white beard.
Mm-hmm.
He asks you to spank his bare butt.
No,
Balls and back.
no. Look at Vanessa's face. She's upset.
I'm
Look at her. She's gone
chagrined.
this whole episode without mentioning Taskmaster, and here we are throwing it in her face.
I know, and we record now on Taskmaster Night. I mean, the Australian season finale was this week. Episode 2 of the UK series 15. Oh, and it's a really strong series. Never mind. I wasn't going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
I didn't pick him up, but there is a chaotic evil gnome named T-Ax that you can
Yeah.
find here.
That's the
And
one we were talking
he-
about, isn't it? Isn't that the one with the fancy hat?
I don't. It doesn't sound like it was the same one that Jim was talking about.
Jim, was he named TX?
Hold on, I need to see his portrait. TX. No, it's not TX.
Oh, okay. Never mind. then.
T-Ax believes he was chosen by Cyric to rule over all. That's
Was he?
T-Ax's deal. I don't know. I didn't pick him up because it sounded evil to me. So I was like, I'm not ditching one of my party members for evil. I do have one party member that I could get rid of. She's not very helpful. But I don't know. Feels like it's too late, you know?
Say her name.
I don't know. She's a shadow druid. I picked her up in the Cloakwood.
Oh, yeah. I
and-
had that lady for a while, and I got rid of her, too.
Yeah, she's not great. She has good healing stuff, but she sucks at combat and she gets hurt a lot. But I did give her a bunch of +1 darts, and those are pretty fucking handy. At this point in the game, I have so much money that I've been buying +1 or +2 darts and bullets and arrows by the fucking truckload, and it's pretty hilarious how hard those things hit monsters. I get into a lot of fights where the monsters are dead before my guys can reach them because old Conrad or whatever his fucking name is, the fighter ranger that I picked up, the fighter thief that I picked up, just destroys things. And I was able to give Nira some proficiency with the sling, and now she has a +1 sling and +2 bullets. So even when she's not slinging magic, she really beats stuff up. I also finally removed some of my like buff and like save spells from her for just some good old fashioned fireballs and lightning bolts. And that shit's great. When she starts a fight off by throwing a fireball at the monsters, it's amazing.
I have so many wands of fireballs too, so I just like going boop 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 because I feel like it's a little faster to cast from a wand than to actually
maybe.
cast.
His name is Quail.
Oh, Quail. Yeah, I remember Quail.
Quail. He's great.
Quail. Yeah. He's an illusionist.
But I have right now I have 2 clerics in the party. I have Branwyn, and I have the one from the mines. The dwarf who wanted you to flood the mines.
Oh, he was a cleric?
Yeah,
I wish it would give you more information on these guys before you had to decide whether they could join your party.
Yeah, like at least show me their character sheet.
Yeah, pretty much.
Show me your character sheet.
I still have
intimate.
Branwyn. She's good, and the other lady, the Shadow Druid, is a druid, so they also do have a bunch of healing magic, which is handy. I still don't. I'm level 7, and I still don't have a resurrect spell, and that's annoying. Where the fuck do I find that thing? I need it. I still die all the time. It's frustrating.
Wouldn't that just be a cleric spell that you get when you're high enough level?
I don't think so. I think you have to write your spells into your spell book.
Not if
Not
you're
a
a cleric.
cleric.
They get them all when they level up.
When do you get...
I think it's a pretty advanced spell. Anyway.
5th level spell, Raise Dead. Do I have 5th level spells? Maybe I don't. Maybe she doesn't. I thought she did. Okay, anyway, I'll look that up later. All right, well, that's Baldur's Gate. We wandered around. There is an absolute ton of side quests to do. We have not even scratched the surface here, but we're not going to talk about them all. Let's get back to Scar. Scar is waiting for you outside the Flaming Fist compound in the southwest part of the city, and he does give you a couple of side quests. One, as we mentioned, is the 7 Sons, and the other one is the finding out what is going on in the sewers. So once we do those, he will introduce you to Duke Eltan. And he tells us he wants us to break into the Iron Throne headquarters and investigate the Iron Throne leaders.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty straightforward on this. I just kind of kicked the door in and murdered my way up several flights of stairs.
Wow.
It sounds like there's other ways you can do it. You know what? Maybe that's not true. You know what? I think I bribed my way in, actually. And I just kind of kept bribing my way past guards. They're like, oh, 100 gold. Yeah, that's plenty. And I'm like, cool, I've got 50,000 gold.
Like, I asked this merchant to stay for like 300 gold and tell me everything. And that gave me enough information to bluff my way through the next few floors, because then you could like name drop all the people he mentioned.
Interesting.
And then I just like told him when to hide in shadows. It's pretty awesome how you can do that. Vanessa, how did you, before we get to the final floor, how did you get up the first like 4 floors?
Well, first I got my way in through the, not the sewers. I think I went through the like brothel. Has a little entrance to
Oh, really?
the place. Yeah.
I ended up in the brothel after doing the ogre mage. I like went out into the brothel, and then because you have to like go through 3 different businesses, and I kept having to pay a cover charge to get out.
I accidentally found my way there via the Sword and Something Inn. And I walked in, and the guy was like, there's a cover charge. And I was like, well, I was just exploring, so fuck no. And he was like, all right, there's no cover charge. Just go in.
Wow. I think I found my way there through the sewer originally, and then into the Iron Throne headquarters. And I did, like, the first guy I bribed, the next person I talked to. I didn't quite manage to talk my way out of it in a couple of places. There was a lady who I think was the person who I later was supposed to pretend to be, but I just let her go past me. So then my cover was kind of blown when I was like, I'm this lady. And they were like, this lady's already here. Now we will fight you. But I did manage to avoid some fights.
What about you, Jim?
I was able to bribe my way up almost all of the floors by just paying everybody off that came up to me. They're like, what are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here. And I was like, well, what if I gave you 300 gold. How would you feel about me being here? And they're like, oh, okay, never mind. And then they would just walk away.
I finally got to the
great.
fifth. I finally got to the 5th floor, and somebody came and accosted me, and I tried to bribe him, and he was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Yeah, he was the leader, I think. Of the
Yeah,
Iron
that's
Throne.
Thaldorn. Thaldorn
Yeah.
is there's 3 leaders to the Iron Throne, and only one of them is here, Thaldorn. So you can kind of interrogate him, and I think you can probably kill him. I don't know.
What did you do when you got up there?
I just interrogated him and like threatened him a bunch, and then he told me everything, and then ran. And I also searched around, and I found some letters from someone named Sephiroth, talking about a meeting at Candlekeep between the Iron Throne leaders.
So
what
when
I
I
did.
got up to the top, that guy, I couldn't intimidate him. Everything I said, he was like, whatever. Maybe it's because I was bullshitting my way up. I think all my excuses seemed like bullshit. Like, all I could say was, I'm Grunk too, or I'm this lady. And he's like, this lady's right here. What are
Yeah.
you talking about? And then attacked
But
me.
what if I'm this lady?
And yeah, something Tar. Her name was like Lydia Tar. I don't know.
Yeah, it was Lydia Tar.
Yeah, it's Lydia Tar. She was right next to him, councilwoman. And the other, so I just kept trying that fight because he just would attack me immediately. And that fight was super hard because there's 3 mages and they all just hold you immediately. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to try, since I'm just there to get some papers, I'm not there to kill anyone. I'll just try switching to Imoen, hiding in shadows. And yeah, I get up to the top floor. No one sees me. I start rooting through all the different cabinets and everything. And one guard, I guess she like failed a rule, and one guy came up and was like, "You're not supposed to be here." And I just said, "Oh, I'm about to leave." And he's like, "Okay then." And just left me alone. And eventually I found the papers, and it was like, "You found the papers," and had a little cutscene about all that. And so then I just went back downstairs and just left them all alone because I don't know, I didn't have to fight them. I probably lost a lot of XP by not fighting them, though. I don't know. There's lots of things to fight, though. Vanessa,
I
did you
feel
do
like the Duke kind of asks you not to fight people.
Yeah, he says just he doesn't say anything one way or the other. I don't think it would have been that bad. Weren't they mostly doppelgängers anyways?
Yeah, they were mostly doppelgängers.
Yeah. So how did you survive the top floor, Vanessa?
Well, I did try to claim to be the lady who was already in the room, and that didn't go very well.
Lydia Tar.
So yeah, I claimed I was Lydia Tar, and they were like, "Lydia Tar isn't real," and they fought me. And then I guess I ran into, or I interrogated Thaldorn, and then his apprentice was there, or something like that. And
Oh yeah.
the apprentice was like, "Hey, let me go. I'm an apprentice." And I said, "Okay." And he just left. Like, he ran into his room and left out a back corridor or something. And I'm like, well, I guess that's that. And I think I probably should have, like, interrogated him first. But then I just got the letters off Thaldorn's dead body.
Yeah, all you really need are the letters. So we return to the Duke, and we tell him what we found. And he gives us a book that will gain us access to Candlekeep. I don't know if y'all have tried to go back to Candlekeep, but they won't let you in. They demand that you give them a book. I did
That's their
try and just
system.
go steal a book from a library, from like a bookshelf, and take it to them, and they didn't care about my book.
No, they only want very precious special books.
Only special books.
Only first editions.
I've dropped all the books I keep ending up with in the Friendly Arms Inn. There's like a pile of books on the floor. Because I had so many.
You should put them in a chest. There's a house in the Friendly Arms area where there's a woman who wants her ring back, and if you bring it back to her, she'll leave her house and it will be empty. It has 2 nice chests in there that you can keep all of your stuff in, and it's your house now because she's gone.
That's some real Skyrim
Squatters'
shit.
rights.
John,
Squatters' rights.
the stuff that you drop does not disappear, so you can just leave shit
Yeah.
anywhere, it seems.
I've
I thought
I've
people
left
would eventually take it if it's just on the ground.
Well,
Nothing
I
that
don't
I've
really
dropped
care.
has been picked up?
Mostly I've dropped those like ankeg heads, wyvern heads, those kind of things.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, they're heavy, but they're worth like 500 GP, but you got to find somebody that'll buy them.
Yeah, I haven't found anyone that buys ankeg heads.
The guy at High Hedge will buy wyvern heads.
I did walk into that guy who was like, "Oh, could you kill 4 ankegs? We only want to like reduce the population by 15%. We have to be very precise." So I killed 4, and he's like, "Great job! You didn't exceed my quota." And I'm like, "Yeah." And then I went down to the ankeg lair and killed like 1 million of them. And I did find this guy's son, who once again you throw into his inventory, into your inventory, and carry it back up. Sons are heavy. Sons are like 200 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
So we returned to Candlekeep, and in game time for me, it's been like 100 days. But they all kept referring to me as having only been gone for a few weeks. But still, they're all like, "Wow, look at you! You're a real big boy or girl now." And they're real excited about what a rough and hardy man I've become. It's nice.
You probably got some gray hairs from all the fighting and being resurrected over and over. Is there? I can't remember if there's a punishment. Like, I thought in 2nd edition you like lose 1 constitution every time you get resurrected or something. But maybe they don't. Maybe on like normal they don't enforce that, and that's just like because there's an option to play with the core rules, and I bet it has stupid things like that in there.
I mean, you can't resurrect the main character because if he dies, you get a game over.
That's true. I forgot about that.
Anyway, we also get our 5th dream sequence. This time we dream of Gorion again, and he's having a meeting. It's like a memory of a meeting between Gorion and the head of Candlekeep, whose name is Olrant. And they argue, and Olrant tells Gorion, like, "Fine, you can stay, but this boy will be the death of you." Bum, bum, bum.
He weren't wrong.
Yeah, he was right.
You weren't wrong. I ran into a couple of real perverts in Candlekeep.
What?
I guess they were Gorion's friends, and they knew my character as a kid, and they
Like, "Oh, you've matured."
Yeah, they talk about. I'm gonna guess and say it's the people that talk about how you used to run around in the buff all the time.
Oh,
yeah,
I
they
love
talked
that.
about how I used to run around naked all the time,
They have some
and they were
great
like,
paintings of you in the nude when
Oh,
you were a
Lord.
child.
Oh no.
Let's see. I have the exact dialogue here. It says, "You," and then old Kelburn busts out of the biggest laugh you've ever heard. "Everyone in the keep was laughing like mad, except for you. You stood there naked as the day you were born, wondering what the fuss was about. I tell you, those were the days." And then
It's
Theoden
true,
says,
though. Like, my son, he was exactly like that when he was, like, 2 and 3 years old. Like, I would pick him up from daycare and bring him home, and he would just walk through the door and fucking close off, baby. Instantly.
Yeah, but then Theoden here says, "Oh, certainly, little one. Stop by any time, though. I've got some paintings of you as a youngster. I'm sure your little friends would love to see. Remember the one of her on the bearskin rug, Jessup?"
Oh.
It
Oh,
doesn't
no.
seem quite right.
Mm-hmm.
I think that what they were going for was, like, embarrassing relatives showing
Yeah.
your baby pictures
Yeah,
to your
exactly.
friends. But playing as a female character in this year of our Lord 2023 didn't quite sit quite right with me what these old guys got going on. I'm not into it. But maybe I just need to chill.
No, it's fun. I like your anger at this. But I also like I don't know. I like how you keep trying to change the subject and they refuse. I thought that was cute.
Yeah, it is pretty funny.
Yeah. Jim said, was it Jim that said the dialogue in this game is the best written of any game we've played?
I think
That's
it
what
is.
Jim said.
Interesting.
Well, you don't think so?
I don't know. I'm thinking
I think
about
it's
it.
clever. I think it's very
It's pretty
clever.
funny.
Yeah.
It reminds me a lot of Fallout in some way.
Yes,
I don't know
me
quite why.
too.
I think because it has that sense of humor about it.
I think, I think the newer Fallouts, yes. The older Fallouts are very like, what's the word I'm looking for?
Reference
Kind
humor?
of like rated R.
Rated R.
I've only played of the old ones. I've only played one for the show. I do feel like this game. I like. Maybe it aged better just because it had the re-release probably sanded some edges off, and I feel like
Yeah.
it's not as punishing as Fallout. With Fallout, like you die, there's so many things. If you do, you ruin it, or you die. This game it feels like it has more stuff to do, and it's less punishing.
I could see that.
I agree as well. I think that I think it helps that it's got a really deep lore and a background and a world that's kind of pre-made for it.
Right. I mean, I still like Fallout. I still enjoyed playing it, but this just feels broader and there's a lot more I don't know, easier to explore different possibilities than Fallout, where it felt very like you have to know exactly what to do to get certain outcomes and yeah. The first one.
So, once we get inside the Citadel, you can run across the 2 leaders of the Iron Throne, Realtar and Anchev. You can kill them here. Did anybody kill them? I just kind of chose to walk away. I was like, I wasn't really sure what was going to happen here, so I was just kind of like, I'm not going to deal with you right now. And I continued exploring the Citadel. Did anybody kill them?
Yeah.
What? Vanessa?
Look, I'm over it. This Iron Throne, they keep trying to kill me. They're up to no good. I don't like them. And I just, I'm sick of it. So I'm like, hey, what's up? It's me, Bridget of Kildare. You keep trying to kill me. You killed my dad. I'm not into it. It's super not cool. And so I'm just gonna, relieve you of duty as the heads of the Iron Throne, shall we say? Get the heck out of here. You did.
So did you get arrested then?
No.
Well, as for me, I continued searching around. I found Gorian's old room, and he had left a note for us. And this is where we learn the big twist of the game. Our father is Bhaal, the god of murder.
No.
Whoa.
Well, I guess I was kidding. I didn't kill the Iron Throne guys. Sorry.
You didn't?
What?
Right.
Good joke,
is a liar.
Vanessa.
I tried to go into the room in disguise, invisible, to hear what they were talking about, but I couldn't.
Oh.
They didn't say anything, so I just left.
Well, the letter tells us that Bhaal has sired many children across the land,
Slut.
and that the Citadel holds the prophecies of Alondo, and those actually tell us a little more. We learn that we, Bhaal spawn, are fated to kill each other and sow chaos across the Sword Coast. And the last one standing will inherit Bhaal's power. That's right. We're a Highlander.
Yeah, this is some straight up Highlander nonsense. And also, I don't trust it. Anytime, your murderous father is like, oh, kill your siblings, and then you'll definitely be powerful. I'm like, are you sure that it's not you'll be powerful, and then you'll, possess my body or something? You know it's one of those things. You can't trust these murder fathers.
We also
No one
learned
trusts a murder father.
We also learned that Sephiroth is also a crutch fruit, just like us. Sorry,
No
a Bhaal
way.
spawn. There's
Crotch
lots of these
fruit.
there's a lot of these little nut boys and girls running across the world.
Also known as children.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nut boys and girls.
But also known as us, I guess. Like
You guys
any
get it?
human ever?
Yeah.
Ball spawn.
No.
Spawn of these nuts.
Oh!
The fuck was that?
That was like my air horn.
You need to insert a slide whistle.
So in college, I wrote a sitcom script for my sitcom called What About Bhaal? And it was about these people who have to take in this family, sitcom family that has to take in Bhaal as their new like a sort of transfer student.
Bhaal, the god of murder?
Yeah. This is a real thing I really wrote 30 years ago or whatever, somewhere around there, 25 years ago. Called What
5
About
years
Bhaal?
ago, because you're a 20-something.
Right, of course. And so they'd be like, who ate these pies? Bhaal. And Bhaal would be like, I consume everything. Yeah. So yeah, what about Bhaal?
Was it picked up?
Sounds like a rejected SNL skit.
Well, I was 20 or 19 or something.
Oh man, remember the day when you had to go watch theater that 20-year-olds wrote? No, thank you.
I do.
So,
and some of it was
how do you-
amazing.
How do you all feel about learning that you're the spawn of these big honkin' testes?
I don't care. Pfft, whatever. I don't define myself by my genetic heritage. I knew I was adopted. What's the big deal? So I'm a demigod. So what? Lots of people are in this world.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to let it spoil my day. No, sir.
Why does Elminster keep coming in and making sure you understand the plot?
Yeah, he's fucking annoying.
So I just
That's-
wanted you to get that you're like Bhaal's son. Did you get that? Did you understand that? That you got a weird father?
That guy's the stand-in for Ed Greenwood, right?
Yes. He's like a Doctor Who Ed Greenwood.
Jim, how do you feel about this big reveal?
I think it's pretty cool. I'm always down for some eldritch deity influence.
There's
That's
nothing
pretty cool.
eldritch about it. What are
there's
you
nothing
talking
eldritch
about?
it. There's
What do you
actually a
mean?
little.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
He's
what do you
a
mean?
big unknowable murder god. I think
Well,
Jim's
that's the
right.
thing is we learned that I guess there was I think the letter refers to it as the Troubles, but there
Eldritch
was
just means weird and sinister.
Why are you judging my father?
He seems like a bit of a weird and sinister person.
He's the Lord of Murder.
So
We
he's
learned
just
that there was
his
a-
job.
we learned that there was a period of unrest where some of the gods or maybe all of the gods were forced into mortal form, and that's
Mortal Formbat.
how that's how Bhaal decided to go around, and I think it says that Bhaal somehow found out about the day of his own doom or whatever, and so that's why he decided to go around and basically R-word a bunch of women.
Bhaal was when he was immortal, he was one of the dead three, and him and two other guys killed one of the seven lost gods, and they split his power amongst themselves, and Bhaal became the Lord of Murder, and had sired a bunch of nut spawn.
All right, so anyway, we learn all that, and we're all like, whoa. And then we just kind of keep exploring. And we reach the 5th floor, and you're met by a gate warden, and he accuses us of murdering the Iron Throne leaders, which, again, you may or may not have done. I had not.
I didn't do it.
And nobody believes you now. Nothing you say can be trusted.
I just got confused because I remembered him telling me that I did it, so then I thought I must have done it. But I didn't do it.
So we get locked up in the basement of the Citadel, but then this guy who I guess is from earlier in the game, but I didn't really remember him, named Tethraril, shows up, and he teleports us to some catacombs below the citadel. This is like the tomb of Alondo, the guy that started the Candlekeep library, I guess.
I guess.
And that's it. We get teleported down here, and we're tasked with like making our way out of Candlekeep via these catacombs, and they're a pain in the ass. It's only 3 levels, but it is just Trap City. Can I take a moment to complain about how detect traps works in this game?
Do it.
The fact that you have to
work?
just like you just have to stop. You just have to stop and wait. And sometimes traps will pop up, and sometimes they won't. And it can be anywhere from like a few seconds to like a minute before a trap will pop up. And sometimes they just won't pop up. And my guy's trap detection is 90, and apparently that is not enough.
Yes. Wow. And Jim, you have to make sure you have AI on, or else you have to manually put on detect traps every thing if you do any other action, it'll turn off detect traps, so you have to make sure AI is on.
Including a step.
Yeah, pretty much. It's really annoying.
Yeah,
and
so you take 3 steps and you stop.
There's that one area where it's like pillars, like a room with pillars in the middle that form a square. And pretty much all of those spaces between the pillars have traps in them. And yeah, Imoen, she's got 90 detect traps, and she's still like, I'm just going to walk over here now. I don't see anything. Imoen died.
I even tried putting Corwin in the whatever his name is in the lead
called
for my
Saga.
party, and that did not. And then it just would not detect traps. It was really, but without me doing it manually, it was really frustrating.
Wow.
But we make our way through these catacombs. There are also a bunch of doppelgängers pretending to be people that we know.
Oh, I love this area. And
but then they just like instantly will attack you. So what's the fucking point?
Well, the first is like usually they'll give you an intro text that you get to reply to, where they're trying to like emotionally mess you up, being like, "I'm your." Well, actually, that's the last one. So I'm your father, but like, I'm the lady who tried to raise you, and I think you're just the worst boy I've ever met. You should just kill yourself right now.
It's so mean.
Just pretend like I inserted that emotional damage catchphrase into this section of the podcast.
What's that?
You've never seen the emotional damage guy?
No.
It's really funny.
Okay. But yeah, it's basically
for a 20-something, you're a bunch of fucking losers. Open up TikTok, give China all your information.
I use TikToks. I love the TikToks.
I don't use a TikTok because I'm pretty like lo-fi. I don't really get into technology.
At one point, you do run into Gorion, as well as the head of the current, what is it, Ulurant or whatever I said, Ulrant.
Yeah, and Elminster.
And Elminster, and all 3 of them, and they give you a whole story about how Gorion didn't really die. I also ran into 2 dwarves that I don't think were.
No, they're not. They're helping you. They can.
Yeah,
help you
that was
through the
weird.
dungeon.
They just kind of follow you and like attack things with you.
Yep.
Yeah, they
So
were
that was
awesome.
nice. They were talked about how they were great at finding traps and illusions, and then they never once did they do anything about a trap. Not one time. Thankfully, I also at this point have about 100 health potions that I'm carrying around, so
the leader of Candlekeep. Wait, did we talk
just to
about
be
how we
clear,
were?
that was not really Gorion and Elminster and what's his face.
No, it sure wasn't. And you have to keep saying like, I don't believe this. This isn't real. Eventually, they'll be like, fine, but it's like, yeah. Did you talk
I
about
told
being
them that I totally believed them.
And what happened?
Did none of you do that?
No.
Yeah, they were like, hey, it's us, Gorion, we're live. All these people you've been killing actually were like your friends.
Yeah, yes. They
but we
pretend like
don't
you're having a
blame
fucking
you.
psychotic break.
Yeah, they're like, we don't blame you. You're having a psychotic break. It's going to be okay. But you just need to come with us and stop killing everyone. And it's going to be super fine. So I was like, super cool. Yay. I'm really glad that you're alive, Daddy. Let's go. And so they said, okay, but, we're going to take you down this corridor don't go into any of these side rooms because there might still be, real or imaginary monsters, and we don't want you killing any more innocents. So I was like, okie dokie. And they lead you down this long hall, and then at the end of the hall, you're basically approached by some doppelganger monsters, and then out of all of the rooms you passed come some doppelganger monsters, and they do a pincer attack on you.
Oh
no.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I was
John,
just
what were you saying?
one-shotting those doppelgangers. Did you talk about how we were arrested, or did I zone out for a
Yeah,
second?
I did.
Okay, sorry.
And then the final level of this catacomb is just a cavern with a bunch of fucking spiders. I hate fucking spiders. I hate waiting around for that web spell to end. It takes like 5 minutes, and I don't want to waste any spell slots on it, and it makes me so mad. Though I was still using Spider's Bane on the main character, and Spider's Bane makes you immune to bullshit like that. So at the end of the caverns, you run into a rival adventure party led by a man named Pratt, and and then you kill them, I guess. Every time we run into another adventuring party, we murder them. Why is that?
It's
I guess they're all working for the Iron
like
Throne.
It. But they can't all be. Maybe some of them are fine.
I almost had a fucking total end game here when I ran into a couple of greater basilisks, and
Matthew
did not
warned me
have
about this.
Yeah, I did not have any potions of mirrored eyes. I did not have the protection from petrification spell on any of my characters, and I legitimately, you have to pass through the room they're in. I did not know what I was going to do. I thought I was going to have to fucking quit the game. I also had fucked up and deleted a bunch of old saves at that point because I'd run out of saves. So I had no way back. I was fucked.
You can run out of saves?
Yeah, there's only 10 slots, I
Yeah.
think.
Oh, lame.
Oh, yeah.
Jim
And,
only ever uses one save spot, so he didn't know.
Thankfully, I had looked up the spell, so I recognized the emblem for it, and I was going through my 30 protection of my my 30 unidentified protection scrolls that I have in my scroll case, and I noticed that one scroll was a protection from petrification scroll.
Amazing.
So I had to camp out about 6 times in this cave until they actually managed to get through 8 hours without interruption, so that Nira would get her spell slots back and could identify this scroll for me so that I could use it on the main character, and then I sent him in to one-on-one those fucking basilisks. And I did it. Yay me. So anyway, at the end of the caverns, we run into this Iron Throne lackey whose name I didn't write down, and he thinks that we're someone else he's waiting for, some other Iron Throne lackey. And he tells us that Sephiroth is waiting at the Iron Throne headquarters in Baldur's Gate. And as we leave, that is the end of Chapter 6.
We're zooming through this game. Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Yeah, I thought it was going to take us a lot longer than it did. As I mentioned earlier, I played way ahead, and I'm about to finish this game.
So am I going to have problems trying to do side quests in Baldur's Gate now? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you are a wanted murderer, and the Flaming Fist will attack you. Or they will arrest you, and the arrest scene, a little spoiler warning, you can talk yourself into getting straight up murdered. Or they'll perma-kill one of your party members just to make a fucking point.
Rude.
Yeah, it's not good. You can go into Baldur's Gate and you can walk around, but if a Flaming Fist guy sees you, he is going to rush up to you and arrest you.
I guess
Or
I
you
need
can
to
fight
Do
them.
other stuff, though.
I could take the sewers.
Yep, you
Yeah.
can take the sewers. I did have to do that at one point. That's actually part of the main quests in Chapter 7.
Oh,
I got all the way up to, I think, was about the point of no return before I realized how far I was. And then I turned around and started doing Durlag's Tower. You'll want
I
to talk
think
about...
we should talk about Durlag's Tower next week as well as Chapter
Yes.
7.
Yes,
Okay.
I agree. That's why I have it written down in the next time. Durlag's Tower in Chapter 7. You start that off by going to Olgoth's Beard up in the northeastern corner of the map, and then from there you can go to Durlag's Tower.
I
Get ready to play some
stumbled across the
chess.
tower before I went to the before I went to Olgoth's Beard, and
Yeah, I did too.
Then when I
Remember
went to
that-
Olgoth's Beard, they're like, let me tell you about Durlag's Tower. I'm like, I know all about it.
Remember that game where we had to like solve chess problems, and we did pretty bad at that. But then we did that mouse one with no like pre-generated solution, and we couldn't pass it. Yeah,
That was
we're not.
I
Seven's
was gonna
Guess, which
say-
I think is coming to Switch.
Ooh, I think it
something
wasn't
like
it
that.
11th Hour. I think it was the sequel.
Oh yeah, 11th Hour.
If you do decide to do Durlag's Tower, which you do not have to do, Jim and John, if you don't want to, it's long and it's hard and it's a side quest, but we are going to talk about it.
I'll probably
just a
need to
little word of
level
warning.
up. So
When you get to the chess match, you need to turn the AI off of all of your characters.
okay, good to know.
Or you'll die.
That
Because they
seems
don't
like
follow
a
the rules of
game
chess.
problem.
They don't follow the rules of chess if the AI is turned on. I cheesed that fight by shooting fireballs across the screen at monsters I couldn't see.
Good job.
Anyway.
I choose that fight by having invincibility on.
Nice.
Really lowers the stakes.
Well, we did talk about all the side quests I wanted to talk about already. Does anybody have any extra side quests they want to talk about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh.
Hey, John, did you do the Patreons?
Yep.
Thank you.
I
I
did.
found a little girl standing in the woods by a waterfall, and she was very upset because her cat was missing. She told me that her cat had jumped off of the waterfall and fallen down it. And all of my characters were like, I don't think that this is going to turn out very well for the cat. Maybe we should just kind of like let it go and let her live in hope. And I was like, nope, it's better to look for the cat and be honest. So I went to the bottom of the waterfall and found a dead cat in a pool. I fished it out and brought the corpse of her cat back to her. And she was like, oh my God, oh no, kitty. Well, this has happened lots of times. I'm just going to have to take it to my dad and he'll resurrect my cat again. Thanks for finding the cat.
Sorry,
Bye.
where's this person? Because I've had this cat in my inventory and it's starting to smell real bad.
She's just like up the hill from the waterfall.
Oh, okay.
Where you found the cat. So that was a pretty delightful side quest. And in that same area, I found a dude, a lumberjack, who was fixing to cut down a tree. And there was a nymph there being like, hey, this guy's fixing to cut down my tree. Please don't let him do that. So I did kill the lumberjack, and then I got a little bit of nymph hair from her. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with it.
Yeah, I've got that too. There was a woman that gave me that quest, so I wondered if maybe I was supposed to return the hair to her.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Well,
Jim,
do y'all...
What?
tell us about a side quest you did.
I already did. I talked about the Seven Sons Trading Company, Doppelgängers.
We'll talk about another one.
I didn't really do any other ones.
And I talked about walking into a hotel and it just being full of slimes. And
Yeah,
that
I've
was
been to
wonderful.
hotels like that.
Who hasn't?
Full of slime balls.
Ooh.
Oh, I thought you
All
were
right.
like full of spooch.
So what's next?
Probably, but I don't really
Next
think
up, we're going to talk about what we're squarely against.
Yay!
Yay!
All right, I am squarely against not being able to do all the rest of the side quests. I guess that's why later BioWare games kind of warn you. Like you're going into the end game and you're going to be locked out of
Yeah,
stuff.
they really emphasize the point of no return.
Yeah, because this one does not. But, it was their first big game. So they were learning. They were learning.
Yeah,
What about
yeah.
you, Matthew?
I'm rallying for the city of Baldur's Gate. It was neat. It was it really did feel, after like this whole game spent out in the wilderness and in these shitty little towns. And early on, I find it kind of frustrating that I'm not allowed to go to like the fucking titular city of the game. But once we finally got there, I thought it was cool. Like, it really felt like epic and really like interesting, and just so many people, so many quests, so much stuff to do and find. It really upped the game, I think, at this point. It really took it up to the next level. What about you, Jim?
I will say that I'm roundly for all of the dialogue in this game. John alluded to it earlier, but like, I'm constantly delighted when people come up to me and it's really my character's responses to people that I like so much. I think they're all really witty and well written. Vanessa, what are you squarely against?
I am squarely against sewer navigation. I didn't ever feel like where I was going in the sewers was matching what should have been above that space.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure.
And it frustrated me because I was trying to traverse the city in that way many times and never quite managed to pop out where, like, spatially it seemed like I should pop out. So I think that the sewers could have done with maybe some carvings in the wall or something to be like, this pub is above here or whatever. It seems like something sewer people would do. Make their own little markings and things. Why not?
We have an email.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
It's time
do.
for everybody's favorite segment of the show. Vanessa reads emails.
Oh.
I was going to read it. Can I read it?
Yeah.
The segment is called Vanessa Reads Emails, Jim. Is your name Vanessa?
Maybe.
Okay, then you should read it.
Okay.
Yeah.
This email reads, "Hi all. Found this
Hi,
gem of
Jim.
a podcast when I was unable to sleep one night. Now I have listened to entire seasons of Final Fantasy IX XB1. What's XB1?
Xenoblade 1.
Oh, Xenoblade.
You know, like the last game we played.
Yeah. Persona. It wasn't the last game we played, was it?
I don't know.
No.
I
We played
can't be
it all.
asked to remember things.
Xenoblade 1, Persona 3, KOTOR 1 and 2 while simultaneously playing them. Also, am
Yay.
super excited when you guys started doing Baldur's Gate, as I got totally immersed into Baldur's Gate 2 last year, which helped me fight against my anxiety a lot. Just want to send this email to acknowledge your wonderful work and hope you guys can keep it up. Best Nerd Power 91. Thank you, Nerd Power 91.
Thanks,
What a
Nerd
great
Power 91.
email.
Yeah, that was nice. A little boost to my confidence there. We're doing it, guys.
Yeah.
We're doing it, and we're doing it, and we're doing it well.
I think we actually have another email, which I am going to read.
What? But you're
Is
not
your name Vanessa?
I am, actually, famously. I say that
Famously
a
might
lot.
be a stretch.
I can't believe y'all forgot Mass Effect. We just played Mass Effect.
Oh, we just played
Come
Mass
on.
Effect 3. That's right.
Yeah.
Hey, Squoots! In the last episode, we established everyone's love for trophies/achievements. So I thought it'd be fun for everyone to brag about the ones they're proudest of. For me, my proudest trophies are probably the platinums I have for Bloodborne and Final Fantasy X. Signed, Sexy Grandma's Retirement Home, aka Chad.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Easy. My favorite trophy is my wife. Ha!
Oh, it's a Michael Scott joke.
I'm single. Is it a Michael Scott joke?
No, but it sounds like something Michael Scott would say. What's your proudest trophy, Matt?
I just told you.
What's your actual proudest gaming trophy?
None
proudest
of them.
gaming Chivo.
There's nothing I could care less about on this earth than fucking gaming trophies.
Oh, I love them.
All right, so Jim, what's your proudest gaming trophy?
I think my proudest is my platinum I achieved in Control. I put a lot of time into doing all of the like little bulletins, doing all the optional bosses. I did all the DLCs for Control, and I did achieve a platinum trophy. Very proud of that. Vanessa, what's your proudest gaming Chivo?
Well, like Matt, I don't care about gaming Chivos very much, but I do remember when I was playing, I think it might have been Detroit, or it could have been Heavy Rain. One of those games, it must have been Heavy Rain. A trophy popped up after the first or second chapter where you're just spending time taking care of your kid. And the trophy said, "Good father," because I had made my kid do their homework and given them a snack and done the laundry or something like that. And I was not expecting it, and for whatever reason, it really touched my heart. I'm like, I'm a good father. So that's my proudest trophy.
How about you, John?
Well, first of all, I want to note that I switched over to Steam. I bought the Steam version with Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 and all the DLCs. And it just loaded. I didn't even have to move any files. It just read my documents folder, my Baldur's Gate saves, and so I just opened it up. Sadly, I did not get like a stream of Steam achievements when I opened it. I was hoping that would happen, but I guess it only pops when you play it during, when it happens when you're playing.
Oh, that's too bad.
But still, I have now been getting achievements. I got a rare one for unpetrifying this one random lady in the middle of the basilisk field. So that's the 4.5%. I don't know. I like trophies. I like achievements. I think they're really fun. That's my hot take. My bestest achievement ever was I was playing Half-Life 2 Episode 2, and I found this gnome statue, and I was like, I bet you can do something with it. And so I brought it with me through the whole game. And then I got to the end and I looked up what to do with it. And it's like, oh, you're supposed to put it into this spaceship that's about to launch. So I put it in there and I launched it, and I didn't get the achievement. And I was playing on hard bringing that gnome thing, and it was a lot of work getting it there.
That end part is really hard just in and of itself, too.
Yeah. So then I looked at, I didn't get the achievement, and I didn't realize, I looked it up, I didn't close the door on that spaceship. And my last hard save was 2 hours before, so I had to redo the last 2 hours again on hard with the gnome. I could have probably turned down the difficulty if I thought about it, but I didn't. So I redid that, and I got the achievement. And I was just so mad that it didn't feel good.
I will say, if I could add one more thing, I will say that one of my proudest achievements that I didn't get, my daughter recently platinumed Doki Doki Literature Club. And the platinum on that is very tough to get. Some of the achievements involve messing with your PlayStation system settings and manually changing the system time, and there's a lot of weird meta things you have to do to your PlayStation to get some of those achievements, and she did them, and I think that's really cool. Yeah.
I guess I'm also pretty proud of dodging those 200 lightning bolts.
I got so close. The problem with all these games I have on PC is I have them spread across 8 different PC stores, and no one cares what Amazon achieved. No one cares what Steam achievements I have, but especially no one cares about what Amazon Game Store achievements I have.
Or Epic Games Launcher.
Yeah. Steam achievements are the only ones on PC that are worth anything, or the Xbox ones, because those just count as Xbox points.
All right. Well, I think that's it for this episode of Square Roots. Would like to remind everyone that we do have a Patreon, which you can sign up for at patreon.com/Square Roots Podcast. On this Patreon, we have a ton of bonus content going back years and years. Most recently, we put out a commentary track for the 2000 film Dungeons and Dragons.
was a lot of fun.
Starring Marlon Wayans and that white guy from the Disney Channel and Jeremy Irons. That was a ton of fun. I'm really hoping we do more of those commentaries. They're super cool. We're going to have Thor Birch is in it as well. That's true.
Playing the childlike empress.
And Damaran as himself. But yeah, all that content is available on our Patreon at the $3 tier. At the $5 tier, you get access to all of that sweet content plus the ability to vote on the games that we play on the show. A new vote just went live today, the day of this recording.
Jim's terrible vote.
Jim's terrible vote. The games that are up for vote are
Final Fantasy VII Remake,
I could
Legend
not
of
remember.
Dragoon, Final Fantasy Crisis Core, and God of War Who Cares Part 2.
Oh, it's so good though. Yeah,
I know. If that one wins, I won't be mad about it. Like, I'll play the shit. I know that once I start playing it, I'll love it.
Oh, it's real good.
I'm real excited
yeah.
for Vanessa to finally play Final Fantasy VII Remake so we can talk about it.
That game's currently in the lead, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think that the retrograde, which is, I don't know, like with additional content,
It has a DLC with it, yeah.
is on the PlayStation Plus thing, so we also
Yes.
wouldn't have to pay for that, which would be...
Yeah, and I will say that retrograde DLC, the Yuffie DLC, is real good.
Did they
just to give you the
finish
current
it? Like, they
standings?
have
Intergrade.
the whole plot now of Final Fantasy.
No, it only
VII?
goes through the end of the end of Midgar. So like when your party leaves Midgar for the first time.
I don't want to play that game again.
Our Final
Currently in the
Fantasy
lead, Final
16...
Fantasy VII Remake, and trailing very close second, Legend of Dragoon.
Legend of Dragoon is also really good.
Crisis
I
Core
will
Remake,
not
a
be
respectable
upset if that one
third.
wins.
God of War Ragnarok, clearly not going to win.
No, yeah, that one didn't have any votes last time I looked.
If I had to pick one of those, I would love to play Crisis Core.
Crisis Core, I've heard the remake is good. What's it called? Like Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII, some other bullshit? I don't know.
I believe it's
got one
called
of those
Final
books.
Fantasy VII Crisscross. And it
Crisis
goes something
Core
like
Reunion?
this. Second Earth, make me jump, jump. Sephiroth will make you jump, jump.
Oh, now I understand what you're referencing. When you said that in the group chat today, I was like, what's he talking about?
It's Crisscross.
It's going to be a big year for Square because Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 is coming out either the end of this year
Is
or
it?
beginning of next year.
I was going to say, that's not coming out this
I
year.
don't think that's
No
Yeah,
way.
it's-
this year.
They said it's coming out this winter, so it could be March. Anywhere
Oh,
between
man, they haven't even
November and
previewed
March.
it, but like they like to preview all their big releases in June, and like
Yeah.
June is when Final Fantasy 16 comes out, so I can see them previewing it after that launches.
I am fucking stoked for that game.
Are you?
Final
Yeah,
Fantasy
16 looks neat.
Hell yeah. I mean, I'm not thrilled that it seems to be going with a more Dark Souls combat system. I would prefer more traditional systems for combat, but like, I don't know. Just
Yeah.
everything I've seen about it looks real good.
I'm on the hype train for that. It looks fucking gorge too.
Yeah.
That game looks great.
And you have a dog, and you can pet your dog.
Yeah.
Is it just you and your dog, or will there
And
be
it's
party
all.
members? Do you
I think that
I
it's
think
just
have
you and your
party
dog.
members. No way, is it?
I think so. I could be
Well,
wrong.
but I thought you're like traveling with that girl and this other guy.
And
But
it's
I
an all like British voice cast, which I love, and I think that's what they should do for every game. Thank you. I just like that it looks like it's going to be like a medieval style fantasy, which is something they haven't really done in a long time. I'm
Yeah.
excited. I'm excited to dive into that game. I think it's going to be cool as shit.
Yeah, I think it looks really cool too. But anyways, another benefit of being a patron is we like to personally thank some of our patrons every week, and I'll kick us off this week by thanking Sergeant Spaghetti, Isaac Wright, Gray Code, Hudson Roth, Jared Collins, Tracy, Wash in the Wind, David Arnold, John Scala, My Battery is Low, Nick Moriarty, and Jake Dickerson.
I'd like to thank Adam H., Joshua W. Broxson, Jack Mizell, Trey, Ward Childress, Evan K., Mr. Hipshot, Jacob, Cyril the Wolf, Andy Smith, Daniel Wood, and Andy M.
And I would like to thank Do Good Recklessly, Chris Sasaki, Carmen Liz, Dylan Rowe, my mom, Dr. Fine Say Everyone's Name, Ross Hartley, 69 Love Songs, Nick, Sol Wagner, and Sean Gonzalez.
Finally, I'd like to thank, oh no! Saving Sid's Bare Butt, Balls and Back, Eduardo Franco, Jason Timms, Orcus the Great, David Shook, Huxley Iguana, oh hey, it's Amanda P., Seth G., Magpie Juju, Eric Pitkameni, Joseph, Andy Best, and Sean Walsh.
All right, everyone, that's it for this episode of Square Roots. You can send us an email to have read on the air to squarerootspodcast@gmail.com. Come join our Facebook group, the Square Roots Podcast group for smart, cool, very attractive people, or find us on Twitter at Square Roots Pod.
Please rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes, Ghana, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Thanks to Stephen Morris for our Square Roots theme. You can find Stephen on Twitter as Beige on Beige and on YouTube. Links in the show notes.
All right, everyone, for Square Roots, I am Jim Banks.
I'm Matthew Van Zandt, and I'm thrilled to see that our episodes have gotten back to about 2 hours instead of 3.
Yay!
They ran super long on that Mass Effect series. By golly.
I'm also John Brandon.
Oh, I'm Johnny Brandon.
And I'm Vanessa.
Bye.
The clouds never expect when it waves, but the sea changes colors, but the sea does not change. So with the slow, graceful flow of it, I went oh, with age-old desire to please on the edge of 17. Ooh. All right, before we begin, I just want to have a little segment about your dreams. For Matthew.
sure.
Matthew had a dream that Vanessa came to visit him. He was involved in something, but he couldn't remember what. A racing league or a softball league. Something. Bannon and Paul, Matthew's co-worker, were part of it too. And now for Jim. Jim had a dream the other night. He was playing cards with Amanda and his friends Cody and Shaquille O'Neal. During the card game, he forgot how to read. Jim went to the other room to tell his sister, and she started making fun of me. I told her to fuck off. And Jim told her to fuck off and slammed a door in her face and started crying. Oh no! Where's Vanessa? Didn't give me one. Let's see. I know she had one recently. One sec. She had. Here it is. Where is it? Vanessa had a dream about making a new cocktail that was hard cider with 7-Up, and now she wants to try it. In her dream, it was so good. That's Matthew's Amazing Dream Corner.
Why is it Matthew's Amazing Dream Corner?
Because you started it. You now want us to talk about our dreams all the time.
No,
and this
I
game
don't.
talks about your dreams every 5 minutes.
I had a dream last night that I found out that Joe Biden was my uncle and he was coming to visit. And I was like furiously cleaning my house. And then when I was taking trash out, I found 4 talking chipmunks in a tree.
Whoa.
I had a dream once where I was driving George Bush. I was like this was before Uber, but it'd been like I would have been his Uber driver, I guess. Mm-hmm. And George W. Bush, I should say.
Those were called taxis, Johnny.
Yeah, but it was more like a limo, but it felt like my car. I was just driving him somewhere. And I guess I dreamt up Uber.
Wow.
But it was super awkward. And I was like, I don't know what to say to him. I think he's a bad president, but he's right here, so I don't want to like make a scene.
Just
awkward.
Your shoe at him. in your dream.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, so that's Matthew's amazing dream corner.
Yeah, I'm going to cut that whole thing. So, time for the quest log.